Hello there and welcome to the series of videos going through the content of A-Level Maths. Here we're looking at the rest of the SUVAT formulas so we can answer questions from exercise 9D. So at the moment we've seen these two formulas here. This first formula here comes from the rate of change on a velocity time graph being acceleration, and we've just rearranged it a little bit. And this formula here comes from the area under a velocity time graph being the distance travelled. Now what we can do is we can rearrange these two formulas, or effectively substitute them into each other to create new formulas. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take the first formula and make t the subject of it and substitute it into the second formula to create a second equation, or a third equation rather, because we've already got two. And we can rearrange this in such a way that we get a new formula which is v squared equals u squared plus 2as. Now remember from the last video I said we're going to get 5 of these formulas, so we've still got 2 more to get. And each formula is missing one of the letters from the SUVA and T. And in this case here, this final formula here is missing the T from SUVAT. So it's v squared equals u squared plus 2as. As I say, you don't need to remember all of these formulas. They're in the formula booklet. You just need to know how to apply them. But it's always good to see where they've come from. In the next case here, what we're going to do is we're going to replace v with u plus at into s equals u plus v over 2 times by t to create another formula. And we'll just expand the brackets here and manipulate the algebra in such a way such that we get our third formula here, which is s equals ut plus half at squared. So the first time we've seen a quadratic in t appear, and sometimes you are asked to solve a quadratic formula with SUVAT, and it can appear here. So we've got our fourth formula here. Notice here how which letter has disappeared. It's v. V has disappeared because we've substituted v into our formula. The last formula comes from substituting in u into the second formula. U equals v minus at. And in a very similar way, we get a formula that looks really close to our fourth formula here. It's s equals vt minus half at squared. So notice here we've got a positive here and negative here. So it's vt minus and ut plus. So here are our 5 SUVAT formulas, and we use each of them to solve different situations to do with movements of particles, changing of speed, always constant acceleration over a certain time period. So let's see this in action. A particle is moving in a straight line from A to B with constant acceleration 5 meters per second squared. The velocity of the particle at time at A is 3 meters per second. The velocity of B is 18 meters per second. Find the distance A to B. So draw out your diagram. You're going from A to B starting at 3 meters per second, finishing at 18 meters per second. And it's always a good idea to write out S, U, V, A, and T and substitute in the numbers that you know. Now in this case here we know U, V, and A, and we're looking to find S. So which formula links U, V, A, and S together? It's the third formula down. V squared equals U squared plus 2as. So substitute in the values, do a bit of simplifying, and then rearrange to work out what S needs to be. So 31.5 meters is the distance travelled from A to B. Okay, another little question here. Particles moving in a straight horizontal line with constant deceleration 4 meters per second squared. At time t equals 0, the particle moves through point A with a speed of 13 meters per second, travelling to a point A where O to A is 20 meters. Find the time when the particle passes through A. Find the total time the particle is beyond A. Find the time taken for it to return to O. Okay, so it looks like here then we start at O and we travel out to a point A. We don't know what the speed that we've got at A is, so we'll leave that blank. So the next step to do is write out your S, U, V, A, and T. Notice here how we're decelerating, so A is minus 4, or effectively acceleration is in the leftward direction. Could draw it on the diagram like that. So we're calculating t and we know s, u and a. So what formula links these four variables together? Well, it's s equals ut plus half at squared. So substituting the values, and what we're going to get once we've simplified these terms here is a quadratic. We get 2t squared minus 13t plus 20 equals 0. And when we solve this using either method, we get t equals 2.5 or 4. Now, why do we get two values here? Well, what's going to happen is the particle is going to travel towards A. It's going to hit the marker at A after 2.5 seconds. And because it's slowing down at such a rate such that it will then stop, but then the deceleration will carry on, and it will then effectively reverse its direction back towards the point A, and it will intersect back at the point A after 4 seconds in total, so another 1.5 seconds further on from when it intersected back at A. Okay. So for part B here, work out the total time the particle is beyond A. That was 1.5 seconds, the difference between 2.5 and 4 seconds. For part C here, the time taken for the particle return back to O, well, in that case here, S is no longer 20. If it's returning back to its starting position, then S is 0. There is no displacement. The difference between its starting point and its finishing point is 0. Although it's travelled some distance, displacement is 0. Distance travelled would be a different answer to what we're working out here. So in this case here, it's still s equals ut plus half at squared. Substitute in these values, and we get this expression here, factorise out, and we should get t equals 0. Yeah, good. We would expect t equals 0 to come out here, because at time 0, the particle is at the point 0, and 6.5 seconds on from there. So 6.5 seconds, it will come back round to intersect back at O again. And just it's not part of the question, but the velocity that it will have when it comes back to the point O is 13 meters per second again, just in the opposite direction. Alright then, so that's a very typical question there. Another one, let's have a go at this one here. A particle is travelling along the x-axis and constant deceleration of 2.5 meters per second squared. At time t equals 0, the particle passes through the origin, moving in the positive direction of 15 meters per second. Calculate the distance travelled by the particle when it returns to the origin. So because it's decelerating, acceleration will be negative. It starts off going to the right in the x-axis direction, and then it will come back round and come back to O. And the question here is calculate the distance travelled by the time it returns to the origin. So let's see what we've got here. We've not got S, we've got U, we've got V, and we've got A. And what we're trying to work out here is how long it takes to reach this point here, to reach the marker at X. And then we can double that distance back round to get it back to O. So what we're looking for here is when it's stationary, so it's going to start with a speed of 15 meters per second, slow itself down, come to a stop, and then reverse its direction to come back again. So we're working with S, U, V, and A here. We're not worried about how long it takes to get to here, we're worried about the distance that it takes to get to X. So S, U, V, and A, so V equals U squared plus V squared equals U squared plus 2AS. Simplify your algebra there, rearrange to work out what S needs to be. So the distance is 45, so it's 45 in this direction, 45 going backwards. So the total distance travelled by the particle that returns to the origin is 90 meters. So the total value of S equals 90 meters. You could do a similar thing if you were working out time. You could work out the time it takes to get to here and then double it to get back, or you could just set your displacement equal to 0 to work out the total time it would take to get back. Alright then, so have a go at these two questions here. Feel free to look back at the SUVAT formulas because you do get given them, but it's important you know how to use them. Okay, pause the video and try these two questions out. Alright then, so question 2 then. So a car is accelerating at a constant rate along a horizontal road, travelling 8 meters per second. It passes a pillar box and 6 seconds later it passes a sign. The total distance between the pillar box is 60 meters. So 60 is the distance. Initial speed is 8. We don't know the final speed. We don't know acceleration because that's what we want to work out. And we know that it's 6 seconds later. So we're not interested in V. So what formula links these three letters together? Well, it's S equals UT plus half AT squared. Substitute the values in and we get 60 equals 8 times 6 plus half of A times 36 from 6 squared. So this is going to be 60 equals 48 plus half of 36 is 18, so 18A. So take that onto the other side and you get 12 equals 18A. So in this case here, A is equal to 12 over 18, which is the same as 2/3. 2/3 meters per second squared. And we can rewrite this as 0.67 meters per second squared as well. It doesn't matter which form you write your final answer in. I think generally I prefer acceleration to look a little bit like that as a decimal, which makes a change really, because in pure maths you would rather the fraction. Okay, question 8. A stone is sliding across a frozen lake in a straight line. The initial speed of the stone is, let's just start writing this down, is 12. The friction between the stone causes the ice to slow down at a constant rate of 0.8 meters per second squared. So if it's slowing down, remember you need acceleration as negative. Find the distance moved by the stone before it comes to rest. Okay, so V equals 0 here, so we need to find S. So the answer to part A is going to be V squared equals U squared plus 2AS. So it's going to be 0 equals 144 from 12 squared plus, well, it'll be a negative from the minus A value, so it'll be minus 2 times 0.8 would be 1.6 S. So rearranging that onto the other side, 1.6 S equals 144. And then grab your calculator, it's 144 divided by 1.6, which is 90. So 90 meters there the stone has travelled. The speed of the stone at instant when it travels half of this distance. So this time we want S is 45 and we want the speed. So we don't know what V is. We know what U is, that was still 12, and we know it's still slowing down at the same rate. So I think we need to use the same formula here. It's still V squared equals 144 plus, so it'll be minus 2 times 0.8 from the negative I moved to the front times 45. And then we'll finish this off with doing 144 take away 2 times 0.8 times 45 on your calculator, square root that's 72, and you get 6 root 2, which is about 8.49 meters per second there. Alright then, so thanks very much for watching this video. Have lots of practice on exercise 9D and this SUVAT formula. Make sure you have a go at the ones at the end as well, because the wordier ones are the more challenging ones. Persevere through those difficult ones and ask your teacher for help if you need any. Thanks for watching.